Hello, everyone. Barb here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we are going to build one of these cutie patootie boxes. I think I saw Nicole Spohr make one of these, and it was a moment where I said, I need that die. So I went over to the Fawn website and ordered this die called Goodie Bag. You use this die and you cut it out twice. You need two different panels that you put together to make the little box. Isn't that adorable? I just love it. Some other things that I used to create this little box: honeybee, well played sir, stamp, and the die set. It is a masculine themed stamp set, but I think it works well for many occasions. I actually bought it for the happy retirement sentiment on there. And I needed to up my manly stamps, if you will. I also pulled in this Tim Holtz Celebrate die set. It is really cute. I think it's a reissue. And my big tip is to go through and separate out the images for each of those more complicated pieces. It makes it so much faster when you have everything pre-sorted, so you don't have to spend time trying to find the different pieces. I also pulled in some Lawn Fawn cardstock. This is called Lawn Fawn Fundamentals, and it is this shimmery cardstock. You'll see here when I hold it into the light, it has a shimmery nature. And I really like this for a base because I don't feel I need to do anything more to the box itself. Perhaps I'll make a box more Christmas themed and use a plain cardstock, and we'll stamp that up. We'll have to see if I can pull my act together to do that. I have my pieces cut and partially assembled. It is a good idea to use a bone folder or the edge of a stamping block or something to really crisp up the fold lines on the box panels. So you can see that's what I'm doing here. I start out folding with my fingers to get the paper moving or the cardstock moving, and then I go through and burnish with, it's a Teflon bone folder. I don't know where I got it. Somewhere along the line I got it. Then there are the little creases on the side panels that give a little flexibility to your box, and you need to get that paper moving. You need to manipulate it. Whoops, I got the dropsies. So then you do it on the second panel, same as the first. We're just getting going here, burnishing all of those fold lines so they're nice and crisp. The cardstock that I used for the little present that you can see there is from Close to My Heart. It's from my stash. I used pine, and it's a two-toned cardstock. So I used both tones of the pine. I used a single tone of the honey butter for the little sentiment, one side of the pumpkin, and two sides of the paprika. And there I am showing you the striped patterned paper from Lawn Fawn. It came in a 6x6 patterned paper pad that they sell, and I love those little 6x6s. They come in so handy, and I like it because the images are a little smaller and they work perfectly on these types of products. I think I'm measuring, I think it was 2 3/4 by 1 3/4, if memory serves. And I think that just gives a nice little background for our present. Isn't that cute? I pre-assembled it to save you from having to watch me put that together. If you'd like to see one assembled in a video, just put a comment down below requesting such, and I will do my best to accommodate. On this day, I decided to pop it up, though that is not necessary. I think if you were making a volume of these, you could just put it flat down on the bag and no one would know the difference. I think as makers, creators, we obsess more over how things look. Most people really don't pay close attention unless they make things. So the tough part here, getting that the foam to curve around a little bit. It is easier if you take off both sides of the backing. It gives more flexibility to curve. And I did do that here. And pull off all of the backers for the rest of it. And you can just slap it on your project. I like to do this while the project is still laying flat. I find that's a little easier. Again with the dropsies, but that's how Barb rolls. Then we have the You Got This. I will probably use this for my friend who is still recovering from her horrible horse accident, though she did take her first actual steps yesterday. It's been 2 months. So that was a huge, huge accomplishment for her. I put a little foam on one side so that the part that hangs off of the present would stand up and even with the present, and then a little glue where the sentiment overlapped the present. I put a little glue on the bottom of one of the rectangles, and then we put that all together. You just match it up and lay it down. I'm burnishing to make good contact with the glue to the paper. Then we need to put adhesive to create the sides of the box. You can see that I'm indicating that you put it on the little side flap, and that's it. Don't put it in the middle because that will do you no good. You line up the edges, so the edge of the fold and the edge of the front of the box. And I'm just squeezing it a little bit. I think I will take a bone folder at some point and use that to burnish and get that glue to really stick to both pieces of the cardstock. I just love these little boxes, and I think it's going to be my go-to at Thanksgiving. I always make a little party favor for Thanksgiving dinner, and these are what I'm going to do. Yes, and you can see there where I took my bone folder and burnished to help make a good connection. The last side, I find it much easier to put glue on both sides. I'm getting my fingers in it, I'm making a mess, but I find that this is easier than trying to wrangle that last flap in on its own. I find it easier if I get them both in to start. Little glue, it'll dry clear. I think it's art glitter glue that I have in my glue press. And that is it. That is the little box. Isn't it adorable? I just love it. And it holds candy. It'll hold a gift card. I will probably take a little ribbon and tie it closed with a bow. I think that will look really cute. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed, crafty day, and I will see you next time.